Hello and happy birthday to all my beautiful Aries out there. Welcome to Aries season. Happy equinox, happy astrological new year, and all the things. Let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to start with a couple of oracle cards and then we'll get into the tarot reading. Okay, so Aries, what is it that you need to know for April 2025? Let's go ahead and see what comes through here. What is it that you need to know for April 2025? Says have faith in your dreams, which basically suggests that things are starting to roll in your favor. And while the process may seem slow, especially, I feel like it's been slow really since like October, maybe even a little bit before that. Simply because of what your ruling planet Mars has been doing. Right now, he's technically out of retrograde now, but he's still in Cancer, which is not his ideal placement. However, this month, I had to check my dates really quick. On the 18th, he is moving into Leo, which I think will be a much better placement for Mars. I think you're going to start to feel that creative energy really start to surge again. If you've been struggling with that. I know that Cancerian Mars energy can be very deep and palpable, and it can feel kind of like sludge. So when he moves into a fire sign, I just think generally, overall, it's going to be a much more productive placement for you to be in. So while things may not be clicking along at the pace that you would ultimately like, I still think there's fantastic forward momentum, so much so that I think you have reason to have faith. When I say I don't want to say reason, you have evidence that it's worth it to have faith. Let's say it that way, okay? All right, Aries, let's take a look here at the Animal Spirit deck. What is it that you need to know? We have clear out the clutter. Okay, I love this. Oh, here's Marmalade, my chunky one. We have, this could be physical clutter, okay? It could be emotional, it could be spiritual, although I think it's more on the physical side. I think it's more on the physical side because of what Saturn is doing. And while there might be emotional and spiritual stuff, I just think like having good energetic flow in your life, it's going to be, I just think it's going to feel great. I don't know what else to say. I just think it's going to feel really, really good to have that energetic flow, to have that chi moving forward. So, cleaning out the closets, cleaning out your car, cleaning off your computer, off your phone, just getting yourself to a place of like a good launch pad. Okay, maybe that's something that you need for Aries season. It's just because it's a time to launch, and maybe this is a good time to clear that out. Now, if it is more emotional or spiritual, that's also fine. Of course, we have a lot of, stuff in our lives to clear out, and there's always going to be times to do that. But I just feel like right now it's better to kind of focus a little bit more on tactical things. Focus on things that progress our goals forward and create an ease or a better flow of life. But yeah, on all planes, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, on all planes, clear out the clutter. All right, let's see what else comes through. Got all these little things. My cats are bringing in all these little things. Okay. Speaking of clutter, what else does Aries need to know for April 2025? Let's see what comes through. We have the Emperor, which is great for the Aries card. And Five of Wands. Okay. When Aries season hits, we have to remember that that's the time when the sun comes into his sign of exaltation. So this is a time, a season when we do have kind of a spiritual strength. We have a kind of a clear line between the physical realm and what our soul is ultimately wanting and needing. And there's not a lot of confusion. Now, I'm not saying there won't be confused or chaotic moments, because we're definitely seeing that Five of Wands. But I think all in all, if you're sitting down and being real honest with yourself, you do have a clear idea of where you want to be. Now, that can be where you want to be financially, where you want to be in terms of lifestyle. And I think when you think of financially and lifestyle and, relationship stuff and family stuff and health stuff, whatever your main targets are, I would suspect that the pathway there is somewhat clear. Like if it's a financial thing, maybe it's an issue of saving money, or it's a revenue or income issue, or it's an investment issue, right? And so well, maybe you don't know exactly, how to do it, or maybe there's a learning curve there, but I think if it's a, career goal, chances are there probably is like a pretty straight kind of linear path of like how to get from point A to point B. And I think this is a time where you can be really honest with yourself about the tasks involved in getting you from point A to point B, and you don't have to overcomplicate it. I think this is actually a season where things should be extremely simple. And it doesn't mean you have to have these huge, lofty goals. It just, whether it's a small little goal of like, oh, I want to plant my garden this year, or oh, I want to, paint my bedroom walls, or, whatever. I don't care how big or small it is. It's just a matter of breaking that down into small little tasks that are easily conquered, right? Because we want you to be victorious with the Emperor. We want you to continually achieve. So putting yourself in a position where you're continually winning all the time, continually winning with each and every step, is going to help to really snowball that success, okay? And with the Sun, it does speak to a spark in your creativity, in your passion, in your desire, and your overall drive to make something big happen. And I think when we hit that equinox point, when the beginning of Aries season happens, which is the end of March, it was March 20th this year, when the beginning of Aries season happens, we have that equinox, and what happens is, of course, we start seeing more light in the northern hemisphere anyway. So we start seeing more light. The darkness starts to dwindle. And so we start to kind of have this blooming effect. All right. And we are in a blooming season through Aries, Taurus, Gemini. And so we should allow space, right? Clear out the clutter. We need space for things to bloom and blossom. I really think this is a time where, like, if you haven't gotten rid of the old, like, you have to get rid of the old. You have to toss it. You have to recycle it. You have to do whatever you have to do to make space to refill with new things, okay? We have the Five of Wands, which does suggest the chaos, okay? Now, this could be a competitive situation. There could be some office dynamics or office politics. It could be a struggle or a little bit of a kerfuffle that you have with someone else. It could be family drama. It could be, you're dealing with some kind of bureaucracy or some degree of incompetence in other people. And I think that is a really frustrating thing for you, Aries, because right now you're in a place where you just want a straight shot. But we have to remember that at least in the beginning of April, we still have Mars in Cancer, at least until the 18th. We still have Venus retrograding. Now she's officially going to station direct on the 12th. So, the first week and a half or so, well, almost 2 weeks, she's slowing down. She's retrograde. She's slowing down, and she's really dragging against Saturn. Okay. So she comes into this conjunction with Saturn. She stops very, very close to Saturn, like within a degree. And then she's going to start to slowly start moving forward again. And I think that Venus-Saturn energy can make certain relations a little bit more difficult and challenging. And I think that's what the Five of Wands is. So you can't really expect everything to go perfectly smooth, and you should expect some significant degree of chaos, not to mention that we do still have Mercury retrograde as well. He will go direct on the 7th, okay? So it's only just for the first week, but he does retrograde back into Pisces he stops, and then he starts moving forward again, and he will re-enter Aries. And Aries Mercury is going to want speed, is going to want things to go, 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 but Venus is still doing her thing. Mars is still kind of dragging a little bit, and we just don't have like this huge push. Okay, so it's okay, we just have to pace ourselves appropriately. Sorry for babbling. Let's continue. Let's continue. What else does Aries need to know for April 2025? We have King of Swords, so I don't know why this King of Swords feels kind of expectant. Now, on one hand, this could be you, where you're in a position where things are going in such a way, hopefully in a positive way, they're going in such a direction that you kind of just expect the Ace of Coins. So when the Ace of Coins comes in, it's just like, it's about time. It's about time that Ace of Coins finally comes in. On the other hand, this might be someone else's energy as well. And I don't think this person is in a rush. Okay, this is someone that absolutely does not care about your timeline. They do not care about your desire for things to go quickly. This person might be someone who's involved in the competition or the bureaucracy or the drama or whatever here. And I think they just do not care. It's kind of what I'm feeling with the King of Swords. They just simply do not care. There could be a good lesson in there for you, though. Because I actually think this is these are both powerful cards. Don't get me wrong. An Emperor trumps the King of Swords, right? It's a more powerful because it's a major arcana. So it does have a higher degree of intensity there. But I think it's pretty well matched with a king. It's not like an emperor and a page or something. It's a king. So there's an equality or a mutual respect that happens there. And I think the King of Swords has a lesson here for you. Their unbothered, kind of stoic nature might drive you crazy because it's not necessarily helping your agenda, but it's helping their agenda. And maybe that's something you need to keep in mind, right? One of the things that I think people who are deeply spiritual and empathic really struggle with is continually accommodating or caring about others. Now, that's not a bad thing until it becomes a bad thing, right? Until it becomes self-deprecating or self-sacrificial or whatever, which is not going to be a good place for anybody. And I think we could all use a little bit more of that unbothered quality when people are not doing or behaving or thinking or, doing what we want when we need it to. It's not that this King of Swords is not invested in things. It's not that they don't care about anything. It's just that they're not going to let anyone push them around. And they're not going to let their emotions get the better of them either. And the reason why the King of Swords is so powerful is because they barely want things. And there's an untouchability there. And I feel like there's some kind of example or lesson that Aries is learning. And it's like because of that unbothered nature, things can easily come to them and they can easily manifest. Now, again, this might be a part of you as well. I'm not saying this is not you. I think it's both. It's like an aspect of you and it's being mirrored in someone else. And you're going to see that. You're going to see that kind of relational thing so that maybe you can bring out that King of Swords energy a little bit more prominently so that you put yourself in a more powerful position. Okay? Because it's the King of Swords that's attracting the Ace of Coins. And I think that again, there's an expectant quality. So the King of Swords knows that things is going to work in his favor. He knows things are going to turn. He knows that things are going to work out okay. Like there's no fear there. Like I say, it's so unbothered. and then boom, here's the Ace of Coins. It's just like there's no resistance, and there's no it's just so clear. It's just a clear, attractive force. Okay. So there's something here. We'll pull out clarifiers and kind of see what else comes out. But I look at the Five of Cups and I definitely see a big release. Now, I think there are going to be layers of that release that happens. We want to remember too that on March 30th, Neptune comes into Aries. Okay, this is one of the biggest transits of the year. In fact, one of the biggest transits in the decade, to be honest with you. Whenever we have one of these big outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, moving, it's a big deal, okay? And he's going to be moving into Aries, your sign, and there is going to be a big shift. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be immediate. So March 30th, it happens, and all of a sudden all this stuff is going to happen. It's going to be a gradual thing. But I do think you're going to start to feel kind of the past sort of dissolving and drifting away, and you're going to start to feel things slipping through your fingers a little bit. But it's the right things. The right things that need to slip through your fingers are what's slipping through your fingers. And I think you're just going to have to kind of let that happen. I see that with the thing with the Five of Cups is that there's never any fight. It's literally, like we always say, it's the card of spilt milk. Like there's nothing you can do about it. The milk has been spilled. It's done. It's gone. Like your hands are off of it. It's completely not within your control. The only thing you can do with that Five of Cups is turn around and look at what's going right and what's going well. You can look at that Ace of Coins and say, okay, great. This is a new opportunity. It's a new chance for me to start over, for me to, build from scratch. It's a good new opportunity. And that's where we have to really dedicate our time and energy toward, okay? Because this is what's going to help give us faith. This is what's going to help keep our faith in our dreams, all right? And you clearly have dreams, right? You clearly have some goal that you're trying to attain. It's clear to me. And the Ace of Coins is like, okay, Aries, I hear you. I'm going to help you meet your goals. Okay? So what else? Aries, I see you getting really serious about what stays and what goes. Okay, now this is kind of more aligning with the beginning of Taurus season. And so with the end of April, okay, on the 19th, the sun will come into Taurus. And I'm just looking, I'm like, well, clearly you're juggling a lot. Okay, clearly there's a lot going on. You have a lot of balls in the air, and you are going to have to start. I mean, this is, I think, maybe where the decluttering really starts to happen, probably in response to all this kind of chaotic stuff, because you realize like, oh, wow, there really is no space. I better do something about this. So you officially start to chop things, right? You strike things off of the docket there. Two of Coins, you can balance stuff for a while. You can keep a lot of balls in the air for a while, but there comes a point of fatigue. Okay, there comes a point of being worn out, decision fatigue, emotional fatigue, all that kind of stuff. And I don't think you want to reach that point. So when you realize that you have too much going on, that's the time where you have to take a step back and say, okay, we need to start making some more clear decisions. I like that we have the Two of Coins and the Two of Swords, because it's just massive, massive decisions that you're going to be making in the beginning of Taurus season. The Hanged Man is a suggestion of delays, and kind of feeling like you're in a period of suspension. But I think that kind of speaks to maybe your resistance a little bit with the decisions. Like, you have these big decisions, but maybe there are certain decisions that you absolutely don't want to make, or you feel like you don't have enough information to make. And so you kind of put those off a little bit. And you may enter Taurus season a little bit slowly, simply because you're just not sure which ones are really the best ones, which decisions, which pathways really are the best pathways. And so you're trying to wait until you see more clearly. You can wait if you want. The problem that I see with that is kind of like waiting for it to rain with that Ace of Coins. Okay, that Ace of Coins is going to need nutrients. It's going to need sunlight. It's going to need water. It's going to need the right proper soil. And if you plant a seed and you give it sunlight, but you don't give it any water whatsoever, it may struggle a little bit to sprout. Okay, so if you're delaying something that this needs, which I think is space, and it needs your time, it needs your energy, it needs your intention, but you're delaying that because you have too many balls in the air, this is going to suffer. Okay, so I think what needs to happen is, and maybe because of this unbothered nature, maybe you don't realize how critical it is that this get your attention. And I'm telling you, it's critical that this gets your attention. There seems to be kind of a lack of emotional connection with this. And I'm not quite sure why. And it's this one. It's because of the King of... There seems to be a lack of an emotional connection with that Ace of Coins. But I feel like that Ace of Coins is something that you want and have wanted. That's why you've been expecting it. But it just doesn't feel the way I think you thought it would feel. Okay? Now there's power with that. There's a lot of power. But it just doesn't really grab you. And I think the Emperor and the Sun, it kind of feels like maybe you're waiting for something to really grab you. I don't know that that's going to be the case. So this is going to be a situation where you're going to have to just continually trek forward. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, my cat was making some noises. But you're going to have to continually trek forward and just kind of keep going, because you know that this is a part of what you've asked for. And whether you feel emotionally connected to it or not, or whether you understand how it really applies or not, that's why you need to have faith that this is the right puzzle piece, okay? But I do feel like Taurus season is going to be a little bit resistant in making big decisions, even though I know that you need to make them. There's still a little pullback there. I think that's okay. Especially because when we hit May 4th is when we have Pluto retrograde. So it might be because of that. That's probably what it is. Beginning of Taurus season, Pluto is slowing way, way, way down in Aquarius. The Sun will be in a square with Pluto the first few days of Taurus season. And I think that might be what's going on, is that you're kind of waiting for the energy to shift. And that energy that you're waiting to shift is Pluto. Okay? And I think you're waiting for some kind of a deeper understanding of why you should go in one direction versus another, or why you should be investing in one thing over another. And I think that's okay. It'll be temporary. I don't think this is a really long-term thing, but you can give yourself grace. You can give yourself space near the end of April. Okay? All right. It was kind of all over the place, but maybe that's kind of how Aries season is going to go. Let's pull out the clarifiers. Okay, for those of you who are new, I'm going to pull out about 27 new cards, and we're going to cover these in the comprehensive reading. So we're going to really open up each and every one of these to kind of get a deeper understanding of what the card is really trying to say and what the story is. Okay, so first of all, we start with the Emperor. We have the Eight of Wands. We have another Five of Wands and a Seven of Swords. For the Sun, what is it the Aries needs to know? We have Six of Cups, Ten of Wands. Kind of feel like that top one wanted to come out too. Three of Coins, beautiful. Really happy I pulled that one. Now for the Five of Wands, what does Aries need to know about this one? Knight of Wands. Six of Swords. King. I had a feeling the King of Swords was involved in that Five of Swords. And look, there we go. Five of Wands, excuse me. And then look, there we go. Here he is coming out. Knight of Cups, the Fool, and Five of Swords. Yeah, the King of Swords has a little bit of an edge to him. Ace of Coins, we have a King of Coins, beautiful. We have a Strength card, a Death card, Three of Cups, another, well, not another, but an Ace of Cups, another Ace, Empress, Magician, Wheel of Fortune, beautiful, Knight of Coins. Now for the Hanged Man, King of Cups, Queen, High Priestess, and Ten of Coins. Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, and last but not least, the Seven of Coins. Okay, this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join me, Aries, you are more than welcome. If you're a member, please be sure to log in. You should see the videos there. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Aries season. Happy birthday, and I will talk to you all soon.